So here we are at Chatham Distillery. Welcome back to Doobrey's Day. Let's go. So guys, thanks for joining us again. Today on Doobrey's Day, we actually went to the Chatham Distillery. Now, Chatham Distillery is where they make the Rivet gin. So we drove there, we pitched up, looked at the beautiful building, and when we arrived, we had a quick look around the shop, and then we went in for the gin tour. The gin tour is slightly different to the gin making experience, which we did on one of our last videos, and I'll post it in one of these two corners.
So if you managed to get a trolley out.
A trolley?
So he took his kids there, they were running around on the lawns, and he was stood on the wall looking across the river at this place. And he was thinking, wow, what's that amazing Victorian building over there? So the following week he drove around here.
It's taking you around the actual distillery. So you get to see the mashing in.
This first part of the process is what we call the mashing, and this is where we're trying to get as much sugar out of each half ton as we can. We start off, these two tanks look the same. The big difference is this one here has a big mechanical arm in it for stirring. But we start off with this one, this is called a mash tun, T-U-N, and when we're ready to start, we drop that grist into here and we add about 2,000 litres of water, and it goes in about 60 degrees C. And as we mentioned before, it's the combination of the water at the right temperature, the grist if we've got it right. It really quickly starts this natural reaction, and at that stage what's left in here, it looks like a sort of sloppy porridge. It doesn't smell that great either, to be honest. So we pump it through into this one, and because this has got this big mechanical arm in it, this will gradually, slowly stir that, and we're squeezing out as much liquid as we can get. And this is actually the part where we get the biggest proportion of the sugars from, where we're sort of forcing the last bit of liquid out of the grains. And again, we're collecting it all in these tanks. When we're finished, what's left in here, the spent grains, it looks like sort of soggy brown lentils at that stage. And it is kind of a waste product, but it doesn't go to waste here. In fact, in most distilleries, certainly in Scotland, they tend to sell this stuff on to a local farmer because someone found it makes a great livestock feed. And it's so full of nutrients and proteins that if you feed it to dairy cows, I'm told, it actually increases the milk yield. So farmers are quite keen to get hold of this stuff. You
also get to see the fermentation process.
Done. So basically, all these tanks are in a slightly different stage. And the idea is, because it takes 4 or 5 days, we try and always...
And finally, you get to see the end product, and they take you through the different stages of how that product is produced.
It tends to be a lot of sulphur attached to it, and we want to get rid of as much of that as we can because it makes your spirit taste a bit rubbery, and it's also quite toxic. So basically, this stuff, this is the residue that's left behind in the bottom of the still when they distilled this second distillation. They took this sample from the bottom of the still, and basically you've got, obviously there's a lot of water in there and a lot of other muddy impurities. But this lovely deep green stuff on the top, that's copper sulphate. And what happens is, the boiling alcohol vapours hit the copper, and the copper, as a natural reaction, the copper strips out a lot of the sulphur from the actual spirit. And it turns the sulphur into copper sulphate, which then trickles back down and it's left behind in the bottom of the still.
It's amazing, isn't it? Just look at there, look at that.
This one.
You could play all day, couldn't you? Son of a gun. At the end of the tour, they then allow you to sample some of the vodka, some of the gin.
Taste the most vodkas because all we do is we filter it once.
Cheers.
Cheers. What do you think? Would you like to try a little? Do you want to wet your tongue?
Because we do quite a slow.
It's smooth, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, it's horrible.
We take our time.
Do you not think so?
And in theory, that should make it quite smooth.
Oh,
Sharon's not hardcore.
did you like that? Oh my god. Burning, yeah. Yes, but I found it a bit.
It's quite punchy.
Rough.
And some of the thing they call son of a gun. Now, son of a gun is, as they described it, almost like a moonshine, and we were quite intrigued to try it. And as you can see from our video, our close friends, Paul and Sharon tried it, and it was a little bit strong. But it was really strange. It tasted of, or certainly smelt of bananas. It didn't quite have the taste of bananas, but it smelled of bananas.
And as I say, it's quite unusual.
Sam, can I have one? Sam as well. Can I have one, please?
Get ready with the.
Can I have one?
Get one. Just
Wet your.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have much.
Yeah.
Because it sounds.
like custard. No,
No.
no, I don't want to taste it.
Taste
Go on.
it.
Go on, give it a try. Life experience.
Oh, it does taste very custardy, doesn't it? Banana-y.
Oh. No, not for you?
No, not for me.
It's really good.
It does smell like bananas.
Yeah.
It's defo bananas.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like. Oh, it's got like a little bit.
Custard, I think. It's definitely custard.
It's banana syrup.
A really prestigious award. We entered it in the International Whisky and Spirits competition in San Francisco, which happens every September. And this was the first time we had anything to enter. So we entered Bella Vodka, and lo and behold, it got a double gold medal. And that means that everyone on the judging panel had to give it top marks to get double gold. So it's quite an accolade for our sort of basic spirit.
As you probably just heard, the vodka won a load of gold awards. So it's some of the best vodka on the market at the moment. So it might be something that you want to try. At the end of the tour, you get to try their gin. So they serve it with a bit of tonic and some grapefruit. Now, it's really good. It's really thoughtful in that if you're the designated driver or you don't drink alcohol, you get a little sample to take away. And you can see my mate Paul taking one of those on his way out. Ooh, I'll have one with grapefruit. Can I have one with grapefruit, please?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, Paul. Do you want a glass of water?
Is there a soft drink alternative?
Is there a soft drink alternative for my... Oh, have you got any... Get a takeaway.
You get a takeaway.
Oh, a takeaway. Thanks. A glass of water as well then, of course.
Thank you very much.
He's just driving.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, sorry. So guys, that's the Chatham Distillery. I hope you've enjoyed it. Alcohol does seem to be a common theme in our videos at the moment, but it's just what we enjoy to do. Hopefully you've enjoyed our videos. Keep watching. Please hit that subscribe button and also that thumbs up button, because those thumbs up really matters to us. And if you've got any comments or you've got any questions, please post them down below and we'd be more than happy to help. Thanks so much guys for watching. See you next week on Doobrey's Day. Bye for now.